Okay. So the problem I sent your way was this one. Determine which orders had a higher total amount due other than the order 1008. So first of all, I need to see what tables are involved in the process. One of the table involved in the process is for sure books, because that's where the amount information is saved. And the order items, that's where the order information is saved. So I know that whatever my select criteria is, I need the order items table and I need the books table for sure. Okay. Now, what are the fields involved in the process? I need the order number. And I need the sum of, which is the total of, so total of the amounts per order. How would I do the total of the amounts for each order? In the meanwhile, I'll write my join statement because so that I can join the two tables. The common field between the two tables is what? For those of you who solved the problem. Which field is the common field?
Isn't it ISBN?
ISBN number. Okay, awesome. ISBN. Okay. Now, since one field versus an aggregate function, so whichever field is being used with aggregate function must be grouped by right away. So that's a no-brainer. Now, how do you calculate the total amount for each order? Because now it will sum up all the orders, you know, so if there are multiple occurrences of the orders, it will then sum it up. So
Quantity times retail.
This will be quantity times the retail. Quantity times the retail. Okay. So the sum of quantity times the retail grew by order number, but now I need to do what? I need to determine which orders had a higher total amount. So I will, after I group, I will eliminate, I will eliminate all those where they didn't have it greater than certain amount. Okay. So I'll be doing a nested query. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're good now.
Okay.
Now you're good, but you were not.
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Okay. Let's see. The net speed is fine. This thing is like 220 megabits per second is the download speed. And the upload is almost 40. So I don't know why it becomes unstable all of a sudden.
It's a high upload.
Say it again?
That seems like a high upload speed.
Oh, usually upload speeds are not that high?
Mine never have. I mean, I get, you know, a little over 300 download, but my upload is normally like 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, Spectrum told me that anywhere between 30 and 40 should be normal for me. And for the Wi-Fi connection, if you're not hardwired, And
About
somewhere
70
between,
30% less.
yeah, it's probably should be around 300 to 400, but it's very rare for me to get 300 to 400 range. I usually get like 200 range on any given day yeah. I still need to test. Maybe tonight I should try testing for direct hardwired to see what speed that comes out.
Yeah. Do you use Spectrum speed test or the what is it called? Umka or something? The speedtest.net?
I just use the Google one.
Okay.
So now we will have a nested query, and the nested query will be built on the same idea that I need to select the sum of quantity times the retail, which is from the same two books on the same stuff. You know, it's just the same idea. Okay. However, with one additional information. What additional information do I need to add in my subquery? This guy, order number 1008. So I need the total quantity for order number 1028. Sorry, 1008, not 28, 1008. Okay. So the inner query will return the total for the order number 1008. And in the outer query, I will select only all those orders where the total exceeds that total. Okay, what did I do here? Oh, I put in multiple times. Quantity. Here you go. Ooh, okay. So I could call this one total amount. Here we go.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Everybody got it? Okay. I know it was, did I give you this for the homework problem? This problem?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who didn't get this far in your homework problems, at least you got one of the problems solved. And if you were stuck on this one, then here you go. We solved it together. Is there anybody who is still doing this problem? Oops.
Now you're back.
Wow. I don't know why it is so slow.
Well, it's weird too because it's just your audio that cuts out. I can see you. I could see you moving your arms around and stuff. Just couldn't hear any audio. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the speed is still the same. I wonder why it's getting unstable.
Like it's like you see the people like moving and you can hear them voice like delayed.
Oh. Hmm. Okay. So is anybody else coding still? No. Okay. Guys, I want to turn to some of the examples in the book now, which is chapter number 9. Let me clear your feedback here. Okay. Do all of you have your books on you?
No, I don't have it on me.
Okay.
I gotta run down to my car in the garage and grab it.
Okay, if you do not have your books on you, because it's the week of the conference, I didn't know how many of you will be coming in with and without book. So I made the chapter 9 PDF available for you guys under the book chapters link.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so let me make one modification here. Let me make this link open in a new window. So give me 1 minute. Don't open it yet. Okay, you should now be able to click to open it. Okay. So everybody now has access to it. It doesn't matter you had your physical book or not. Let me know when you guys have opened it, because we will be going through the example. I mean, like, oh, you will be doing the examples. Okay. So first of all, the chapter is about subqueries, what we started last week. And the subquery is the whole idea that you write a query within another query. So it's a query inside another query. There are two types of subqueries, a single row and a multiple row. Single row subquery returns only one row back to the outer query. So when it is returning a single row back to the outer query, it is probably a single value, which could be easily judged with equals to or greater than or less than or something like that. But a multiple row subquery returns multiple rows to the outer query. A single row subquery or a single value subquery typically uses one of these operators between the inner and the outer query. Okay, so for example, the queries that we wrote, like the query that we just wrote, this one, if you notice that we use one of these operators, so it will also be categorized as a single row subquery. And here the author shares with you an example. Determine the average salary for all employees and then round to 2 decimal places. Not even a subquery problem so far. All you're figuring out is you're calculating the average salary, converting it into the appropriate size and displaying as average salary. And it just gives you one solid number, okay? Now look at the second picture here. In the second picture, you're selecting the employee ID, the last name, the salary, from employees table where salary exceeds this amount. So these are two separate queries, very easy to understand. Now, the author moves on to the next query, which is a combination of the two. What is going on here? The author says, I want to know who is that employee that is making money more than the average money of all the employees. We did something similar to this one, but not with employees table. If you remember, what is the aliasing that we have used for this database for all the tables? What alias do we use? That's also, I shared with you in the course documents, the script that you ran for the final exam, if you guys remember that, the textbook script.
Real quick, Saad, is the textbook script the same as the book script or no?
No. Textbook script is
different.
Yeah, exactly. It is your
Okay.
textbook's script.
Oh,
Okay.
got it.
So which is basically all the tables which end in final.
And we're gonna need that for the final.
You will be needing it for the final as well as all the problems that we will do from the book.
Okay.
Okay. So when I give you a book query to solve, you will need that script.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why here in this example, you will be using the table employees final, because that's what the table is, employees, and I've added the word final with at the end of each table. So all of these are suffixes by the word final. So go ahead and run this query on your end and make sure you use employees final as the name of the table instead of employees. And let me clear the participation here. So you give me a thumbs up when you are done.
What do you say? Employees, what? Employees final?
Final. So all the tables from the book, you will add the word final in the end.
Okay.
Okay. Remember, I made you guys run this subquery like this script a few weeks ago. So you should have it if you were there when we did this.
I don't think I was there. That's the one time I didn't have a power at my home.
Okay, so then what you should do is in the V2 cloud, open the Blackboard. You should download the script, which is from the course documents under the SQL scripts and ERD folder. You will find the script by the name of textbook script, but you should be opening this within the V2 cloud. Let me know when you have downloaded it, then I will let you share your screen so I can walk you through the steps.
Okay, so in the V2 cloud, I
Yeah.
connect to my Blackboard.
Yeah, exactly. And after you connect to your Blackboard, you then go under the course documents link.
And in that what
Okay,
am I choosing?
in the course documents, do you see this name over here at the top? That's the name of the folder.
Yep.
Okay, then scroll down to where it says textbook script. Click
Mm-hmm.
on that, and that will be downloaded to your local computer.
Yep.
And now you can share your screen and I'll walk you through the steps. Did you downloaded it?
Well, I did, and then when I opened it, it's like
That's what I'm
doesn't.
saying. Can you share your screen and I'll walk you through the process?
Instead of opening it, right click it and click Notepad plus plus.
Yeah.
It's much faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I tried to
Okay.
do that,
Okay,
but
hold
it
on.
just disappeared.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Minimize your browser window.
Oh, it's right here, I think.
Yeah, minimize your browser window.
Yeah, I tried opening SQL Manager.
Only minimize the browser window within the V2 Cloud. Don't minimize the main V2 Cloud window. So The browser that you open within V2 Cloud, minimize that window.
This one?
No. Yeah, okay. You can, yeah, you can close the SQLs. Yeah, no, don't close this, minimize it. Yes, okay. Now you can close this window, the SQL Server one. Yes, close that, and also close that application. Yes, okay. Click to close that. Okay, because you clicked on it too many times, so that's why SQL Server. Okay, now click on Run SQL Scripts again. Okay, click File, Open, PC file, and then click on Downloads, which should be, click on Recent Items. I don't know, it's like, or Documents. I don't know where it's go. Oh, here you go, Downloads. Okay, now click on the very first one at the top and click Open. Okay. Now, oh, I think you might already have run this before.
I did.
Okay. How about, I think you dropped the word final also from the names. So can you minimize this for a minute? Oh, hold on a second. Oh, no, this is not the right one. This is the wrong one. Close that. Yeah, okay. Click on Run SQL Script again. Click File, Open. Choose that final script. Final script.
This one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, now click on Edit menu and Find and Replace. Find and Replace. In the Find, type Yusuf S, and in the Replace, type your ID. Okay, click Replace All. Okay, close that. Okay, now I want you to click on line number 10, to the beginning of line 10. Okay, now press Control Shift and the end, END, end. And okay, now click the third hourglass symbol. Yep. Okay, I think you might have already created these tables. So can you minimize this for a minute? Okay, I think, and go to your other Run SQL script. Minimize this one as well. Okay,
This one?
yeah, that one. Okay, now drop the word, run this one. Select these, run it. By
It
clicking,
runs.
it runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means you have it. So you were there that day that we talked about this.
Is that the first date that we changed that everything?
Yeah,
We like to run we like to run it by like everything like this.
right, exactly. So we ran
Oh.
we ran
Oh.
2 separate scripts that day. One was for the final, but which is for the textbook, and the other one is the in-class examples. So
Don't worry about it. I was gone that day, so this was very helpful for me, and it's successful. We're good.
okay,
All right.
cool. Awesome. Okay, so
Wait, I only
It wasn't in
remember
vain.
I only remember we were doing only that final one.
yeah, no, we did both. Otherwise, you would not have been able to run the other examples that I've been doing, like with the books and the order items. Have you been able to run those?
Which one?
The homework examples.
Well, I haven't
Can you share your screen again, please?
again, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This one you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. Were you able to run this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I guess I did both
yeah,
of them.
so basically they're 2 separate databases. So one
Oh yeah, I
database,
remember. I think we did the final first and then we did the book thing, right?
exactly. So we did both of them, the book script as well as the textbook script. So
Okay, okay, but I didn't understand that from the script, we needed to change that table name.
yeah, so
Well, I guess I wasn't there on that day, like when you told the students that we need to change the table name into employees final.
no, the table names, I did not change the table names for the book script. I didn't change anything in the book scripts.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
but I'm
did
talking about
not,
the final thing.
yeah, even I did not change the name for the final script either. The original script has the word final in the name, and you have it the same way.
No, 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 like like we have the book example.
Share your screen again. Let me explain it to you again. I think you're getting mixed up.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is right?
Let me talk first, okay? On line number 10, the two tables you have, order items and books,
Yeah.
these are from a different script. I did not add anything in the names.
Mm-hmm.
The table from line number 19,
Mm-hmm.
that is from a different database.
Yeah, I
So,
understand that. What I'm
yeah,
saying is from this one,
huh?
we needed to change this table name to employees final, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so yeah, so
I know we are doing two different database
okay,
thing,
okay,
but
okay.
what I'm saying is like changing this
Yeah,
table name to employees final.
right. So anytime you do any of the examples from the book, you just
Mm-hmm.
add the word final to the table name.
Okay, now
Okay.
I'm clear, yeah.
Okay. The reason I did that, because originally I created that script for you to only use it in your final exam. So that's why I added the word final. And the second reason that I added the word final to all these table names, because those table names are so common that a lot of the instructors create those tables. Like a lot of the instructors create employees table, or you may create it for some other assignment in RPG. So I did not want it to replace your existing tables. So that's why I added the word final to make them look different. Okay, so now that everybody is done with this example, which is example number 3, now let's look at the multiple row queries. What did we learn about the multiple row queries? That they display or return more than one rows back. So therefore, we use a totally different set of operators to make this happen. We use the in operator, the any operator, and all operator. These are 3 different operators you did not learn about yet.
You have to share your screen.
Oh, I need to thank you very much. Okay. So the in, the any, and all. Those are the 3 operators, which are the multiple row subquery operators. The in operator is used in a multiple row subquery. The inner query returns multiple rows in the results set. The outer query then uses this list to determine if the current row being processed is found in the list generated by the inner query. So inner query brings a set of records, and the outer query's job is to make sure that what you're looking for is inside that list. If it is, it picks that item. If it is not, it doesn't pick that item. So here is an example. What do you think the purpose of this example is? It lists the highest salary for each department in the employees table. How do we know it displays for each department? Through the last line, the group by department code. The only difference is that the author is not displaying the department code. This is to show you that the field that you want to group on does not always have to be part of your aggregate query. So here you just get a bunch of values that are maximum values in the respective departments. Once you do that, now let's go down to the example number 5. Here, you're displaying the last name, the salary, and the department code from an employees table, and you're saying, give me all those employees where salary is found in this list. So the inner query is giving you a list. So if the outer query has salaries matching any one of these salaries, it will be picked. So now the inner query will return the whole set of items, which would be these values, 60, 24, 55, 31, 45, 65. And notice all the values selected by the outer queries are those that match any one of these items. So this is an example of inner query returning multiple values and the outer query selecting all the records that match any one of those values. Does that make sense? Okay, so go ahead and try example 5. Remember that your table name is employees final.
Are we doing the example 5?
Yep. Okay. Now let's move on to.
Hey, so I have a question really quick. It's kind of a little bit off subject, but it's about SQL still and stuff. So obviously with all of these other programming languages that we've learned, there's, we could every one of us could write the same program, but it would look different. Okay. Theoretically, it has that ability. I know there's that ability with SQL as well.
SQL, you don't really have a lot of rooms if you're talking about the same data set, because you're already locked into the data set and the fields and everything. The only variations you could
amount of ways to do it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there are very limited ways of doing it.
Okay, I was just curious, like, because originally I did the question that you had us work together on. I did it a little bit differently, but yours was much more less code. I guess is the best way I could put it. Less code than the way I did it. So I'm kind of changing mine now because of that, because I want that as a reference of a better way to do it. So I was just curious.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like,
I came out with the same answer, but I had probably a solid 2 more lines of code than you did. So yeah.
yeah, of course. You know, I mean, in the past, we have done such examples where we solved the same problem in 3 different ways or 4 different ways.
Right. Of course.
So,
But it's not as broad as it is with other with programming languages then.
no.
Okay.
Until and unless you start going into the procedural language of SQL where the programming comes in,
Okay.
then, you know, it just goes a little bit more versatile.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so now we will go to the next all and any operators. The all and any operators can be used with subqueries to produce a single column of numbers. If the subquery is preceded by the all operator, the resulting condition is true if it satisfies all values produced by the subquery. If the subquery is preceded by the any operator, the resulting condition is true if it satisfies any value produced by the subquery. So all operator requires all conditions to be true. So if I say that it has to be greater than, and I give a list of values, that means the value I'm picking must be greater than all these values. If I say greater than any of these values, that means if it is greater than any one of the values, it will be picked. Does that make sense so far? Okay, now let's have a look at the all operator example. Here is a query that will give me the discount rate from customers table. However, only those customers who are living in the city of Albany, and the discount is not null. So I get a discount of all the people in Albany. So there could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever number of discounts there are. All of them will be, the whole set will be returned. I am now in the process of selecting all those customers who receive a discount more than all discounts given to any of the Albany customers. So basically I'm saying is, give me a discount, give me all those customers who receive discount more than any Albany resident. And now going back to Josh's question, can I do this differently? Yes, you can do this differently. You can select the max discount, and then you can do it equal, like greater than operator outside. That's one more way to do it. So again, you know, this is basically working with a group of values in multiple queries. So go ahead and try this one, example 6. And remember, it is customers final table.
We're changing the table name, right?
Yeah, to employees final, exact. Oh, sorry, customers final in both lines 2 and 4. Okay, now what I want you to do is you can copy the same query and paste it down below and replace the word all with the word any. And then compare your outputs. What did you find difference? What is it? What do you find different in the two outputs? All versus any. So yes, guys, when you replace the word all with any.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just answering the question, but I didn't have my second mic on. I have a fail safe. I have a two mutes. But isn't it any will return any of the values that like meet the condition, but all will only return if all of the values.
Exactly.
Okay.
So your any result set should be much larger in size.
Right.
Okay. So that's what example number 8 talks about, replacing the same one all with any. Then on page number 10 of the PDF, but if you have your books, page 258, you have correlated subqueries. A correlated subquery, in the previous subqueries, the SQL evaluated the subquery once only. So the final output was sent back only once. And then the outer query was constantly looking at the returned values. In a correlated subquery, the inner query doesn't run only once. It constantly runs for each execution of the outer subquery. Okay, so that's called a correlated subquery. So uncorrelated and correlated, what's the main difference? And how can you make an inner query run as many times as the outer query? If you make inner query to tap into one of the fields of the outer query, then the inner query will run for every record that you want to produce from the outer query. That's why if you look at the table down below, figure 911, it says that the uncorrelated query not dependent on the outer query, but the correlated query is where it is dependent on the outer query. So it doesn't run independent of the outer queries, it runs dependent on the outer query and will not return a result set if run independently. Now let's have a look at this. It's using the where clause with the correlated subquery. So figure 912. Why do you think the inner query will run more than once? Just by looking at the inner query. Why do you think the inner query will run more than once? If somebody is speaking, I can't hear. I want you to pay attention to the where clause in the inner query. What is the where clause in the inner query states? what does the where clause in the inner query states?
Well, it's like a nested select, right? It's saying where salary is greater than.
No, no.
That where. I'm sorry. I was looking at the where above it. My fault. My fault.
So it is saying that.
That's saying that the department code inside of employee is the same as, oh no, because that's employee department code.
So basically what it is saying that I will run the inner query. Every time I run the inner query, I will match the department code from the inner query employees table with the department code of the current record in the outer query.
Oh.
Okay. So that's why for every record this will run, will generate one output, and then that output will be sent to the outer query to generate the results. Then when the next record comes in, it will run again. So as a result,
why would you use that if it's putting it back into the same database? It's like you're taking it out to put it back in.
Now look at the problem statement, what we're trying to solve.
Okay,
we would like to list all the employees in the employees table where their salary is greater than the average salary of their own department.
Oh, okay. Yep. There. Okay. Yes.
So for every record in the outer query, we want to now check with the inner query, what is the average salary of this person's department? And then you return that salary to the outer query. So the outer query will then either select or drop the employee. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Makes more sense than I was saying.
Okay, cool. So these are the list of the employees who are making more money than the average salary of their own department. So go ahead and run this query, and remember, whenever you have employees in the inner or outer, use employees final as the table name. Yeah, let me know when you guys are done with this query. Okay, so now we will look at example number 10. In example number 10, the idea of a correlated subquery is used with the update command. Update all customers to a 10% discount if their current discount is less than 10% and they have placed orders with a grand total greater than $1,000. So now look at this query. I want to update the customer's final table by setting the discount to a 10%. However, this must only happen if their current discount is less than 10%, so which satisfies this condition, or discount is null, and have placed have placed orders with a grand total greater than 1,000. So the 1,000 should be on the left side, less than, and then for each order, for each customer, we will calculate the sum of their order. That's why, in the inner query, we are referring to the outer query. That from the orders table, whatever customer ID you're pulling, match it with the customer ID of the current customer. Then calculate his or her total orders, and then see if that exceeds 1,000 or not. If it exceeds 1,000 and the current discount is less than 10%, then change it to a 10%. So that's an example of updating a table that way, okay? So now try this one, example number 10. And let me know when you're done with example 10.
I'm getting an error.
On example 10?
Yeah.
Did you make sure that you're using customers final and orders final? Yes?
Yeah. It's a
Same.
where orders dot customers underscore ID.
Okay, let's see what that table has. Employees final. Orders final, okay. It has customer underscore ID field. Orders final table has customer ID. And customers table also has customer ID. They both have the field.
You want to see it?
Yes. See, it's orders final, not orders. Orders final dot customer ID. The name of the
this
table,
one?
yeah,
This
exactly,
one.
exactly. Whenever you use, and also the line below, line 59,
This one?
customers final, yes. Whenever you use the table name from this database, use the word final after the name. Okay, now you got a different problem there. Scroll up in the error message, not in the query. Okay, keep going up to the first line of the error message. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, it says, it's not valid for operation. has no members. We know cost discount. Let's do this where discount is less than this, or say no. Select sum of order total. Okay, sum of, let me go to orders final table. Okay, order total from orders final, where orders final ID. Anybody else getting an error on this one?
For me, it says customer underscore ID is not in table orders final.
I have the same problem as Amka, and I
Yeah,
just
same.
did the same.
Okay, interesting. Can you real quick on line 52 type select star from orders final? Star from orders final, semicolon, and only run line 52. Okay, so you do have customer ID. Okay, and what was the error that it is giving you, Victor?
The same as his.
Yeah, can you repeat that? Because I've asked him to replace that error message. Or somebody else, what is your error message? Who else has? Jack, you had an error message?
Yeah, mine says customer ID is not in the table orders final.
Did you use customer underscore ID or customer ID?
Underscore ID.
Okay. But for rest of you, it works fine except for these three people? Okay. Emka, stop sharing. Let me have a look at Jack's and I'll get back to you. Oh, it's customer. You added an S there. It's customer. No, not there. On line 65. Customer ID. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Now select and run it. I
Yeah, let
just
me
want to
see
make
if
sure.
it works. Now I got his error.
Okay. Okay, you got it. Okay. So you got the same error as him. Okay, just 1 second.
Saad, how are you going to talk about all of the conference and not mention that we are the first, second, and third place champions of the student competition at Gateway?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
We kicked Michigan's ass.
Oh, there were students from Michigan too?
Yeah, so there was one team that was solely 2 students from Michigan, and then Tony and a student from Michigan worked together as well.
Oh.
Yeah, yep. They were I don't remember this. Oh, they were the same students from Michigan that were at the meet and or the virtual meet and greet. They were those
Oh.
same couple students.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, we kicked their butt.
Nice.
Sorry, it just popped into my head. I just looked at the certificate and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I got to talk about it. Of course, you got to talk about it.
I know.
Oh, nice. Actually, I'm in the process of recreating this database so I can test to see if I get the same errors as you guys do. So I have all my tables removed and I am now recreating the whole database.
And then we're gonna download that too.
And it's still running, creating the database.
Wait, so are we gonna download that one too?
You don't need to do anything. I am testing it because I had all my tables removed first and I'm recreating my database. You guys don't need to do anything. Customers final. Orders final. Orders final. Customers final.
Is there such a thing as like drop table all?
No.
Good. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm actually getting the same errors you guys are getting. This is saying that the customer's final in use of as not valid for the following operation, has no members, has been saved with storage free. Oh, you know what the problem could be? 1 minute. I think I know what the problem is, but let me confirm that.
We can't hear you right now.
I am in the process of solving the problem. I think that what I'm suspecting is the problem. So as soon as I resolve it, I will get back to you. So give me a few minutes, okay?
So are we just gonna take a break?
No, don't take a break. No. You're not gonna take 15 minutes. Just hang in there. Awesome. I solved the problem. You know what the problem was? If we okay, let me show you what the problem was. The error that you were getting was that the table, one of the three problems could be there. Let me go back to the three problems. Either the problem was that the customer table has no members, or the problem was that it has been saved with storage free, or the problem was it's not journaled. Actually, the third reason is the actual problem. The table was not journaled. In order to solve this problem, we have to first create a journal entry. We got to save the table to the journal, and only then we can run this update. So in order to make this happen, I want you to log into green screen. So from the Access Client solution, you click on the 5250 and bring up the green screen. And then I'll walk you through what commands to type in the green screen to journal the table. And once we are done journaling the table is when we will be able to run the update command. So yeah.
When you're explaining this to us, can you explain journaling again? Because I remember this exact scenario during you teaching us CL, where it was the exact same thing where we had this weird issue. It took you a little bit to figure it out, and it was that we had to journal it. And it's just weird to me that it's also coming up in SQL.
Yeah, journaling.
I don't understand it.
Journaling basically allows you to keep the values before and after change. In the absence of journaling, you can't keep the values before and after change. Now, since this is a subquery, and it's a correlated subquery, so the system wants to keep the changes before and after in case something fails in the middle. So it will have a way of rolling back to the old values. So that's why the so that's why journaling is required in those cases where the system, in case of a rollback, can preserve the old values.
But why does it require that? Why does it care if we're going to do something maybe not the most safe way? Or is it just one of those?
It's more like a precautionary measure. In case if anything fails, it should be able to fall back to the original values. Because now we are going back and forth between two queries. It's not a single query.
Sorry, Saad, did you hear my question or no? I didn't hear anything. You froze for about 15 seconds for me.
Oh, okay. So I said that, you know, since it needs to go back and forth between the two queries.
Okay.
So in case if anything goes wrong when it is going back and forth, it should be able to roll back to the previous values before change.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
So everybody give me a green check when you are inside the green screen window. So then I will be able to walk you through the steps. So I'm waiting for Jacklier and Devin. And I will also share the solution with you guys, which I recorded a video. I mean, like I was basically going back to those steps in that video. So I'll share that video link in the chat just so that you guys will have the record of that on you as well. And then I'll walk you through the steps. So it's a 3-step process. So first of all, you need to be able to create the receiver. Then based on that receiver, you create a journal. And then once on that journal, you can then create your table journal entry. And you can add many tables to the same journal entry. So the creation of the receiver and the creation of the journal. Those are the only two things that are a one-time thing. And the rest of the steps are not one-time. So the step number one would be to create a journal receiver, which would be this step. So I'm creating a journal receiver, and I'm using Yusuf S. You guys use your ID.
Can you maximize this?
I'll say that again.
Can you maximize the screen?
Yes, but that's the largest font I'm gonna get. So
That's
that's why I wanted to actually type it in this screen. In the, I mean, like the same command I will type here. So it'll be a little bit larger for you to see, but I'll type it in the comments. So do not type the 2 slashes, 2 dashes, just type the rest. It will be create, JRN, RCV for receive. Then you will put your ITPA, whatever your ID is, slash the name of the receiver. So this will create your journal receiver.
And
I'm
then we
sorry,
just
if
hit
you already
enter.
answered this, but how do you know the name of the receiver?
You come up with that name. It's just
Okay,
yeah,
okay, it's up to me. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
it's a user-defined name. So create journal receiver is the command. ITPA is your library, and the name of the object is a user-defined name. So when you press enter, it will tell you that the journal receiver is created. Then you need to create a journal, which I'll write in the next comment. Create a journal. Oh. So let's say you create a, again, GRN23 is a user-defined name. And then ITPA. And now you write the name of the receiver that you wrote on the line above, that in this receiver, I want to create this journal. Now let's get to the third step, which is to start journaling a physical file, because tables are also considered to be physical file. So the command is same, start journaling the physical file, and then ITPA, and the table name was customers final, right? The one that we are updating. So you write the name of the table that you want to journal. And then you write the name of the journal, which we created in the command above. So we create the receiver, we create the journal, we journal the table, and now you can run your update command. So when you're done with your start journaling is when you run your update command. It should work now.
What is the message that we were supposed to get when we do the last one?
The start journal one, this command,
Yeah.
it used to say that one of one files have started journaling.
Mine says different.
What does yours say?
Mine says value customers F for file exceed 10 characters.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Here you go. It's a very good point. Okay. You know what? I want you to do this. Do you still have your error message?
Yeah.
Okay. Now go to your error message. Let me go to my error message so I can show you what you should be looking for. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay.
Oh, I do not have my message.
You don't have your message? Then go ahead and run your update command again.
Okay.
Okay. It will show you an error message. Go to the very first line of the error message. Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now it says cust O 00010. Is that what it says for you?
No, mine says cost 00003.
Okay. Whatever it says, put that name instead of customer's final because customer's final is more than 10 characters. And this is the shortened name for that. So use that. It's cust O 00, whatever it is for you.
Instead of the customer final.
Exactly, exactly. But remember, it is cust O and then it has zeros.
Costo, right?
Yeah, you see your screen, whatever it is on your screen. You can see the difference between O and 0. So everybody would have to do the same thing. Because the customer's final is longer than 10 characters. So that's why you got to see your error message. And whatever short name it shows in the error message, use that short name. Like I use cust O00010. That was my name for my customers table.
Okay, it works now.
Okay. Okay. After that, you will run your update command and make sure that your update command works. And should not give you any error anymore. Should not give you an error anymore.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So can everybody give me a green check when you are able to do the update successfully?
We don't need the green screen anymore, right?
We do not need the green screen anymore. You can close it. I'm just waiting for Jack Lear, Robert, Devin, Cole, and Victor. Jack Lear is done too. Okay. Devin, Cole, and Victor. Are you guys coding or is it giving you an error? What's the status?
I have an error.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to redo the whole thing.
Whole thing? Why would you want to do the whole thing again?
Well, I'm having an error on the second.
Okay, then let's have a
Right.
look at your screens. Can you share your screen? Okay. Okay. Can you press F9, please? F9. And press F9 again. Okay. Hold on a second. So you had RCV. Oh, you're creating journal. Okay. Okay. Did this step work for you, the create journal step, right?
I was able to create the journal, and then step 2 and 3 didn't.
No, I mean, like, step 2 is creating journal. Step 1 was creating a receiver. So can you press enter now? Okay. Now, can you press F9 again? F9, okay, again. And again. Keep pressing it. Okay, hold on a second here. Oh, I want you to keep pressing F9 till you can go to the command create journal receiver command. Create journal receiver. This is not the receiver. One more. Yep. Hold on a second. Okay. The name of your receiver is 22A. Okay. Remember that. Is it RCV 22A? Okay. Now press F9. Okay. Now, towards the end where you wrote 23A, that should be 22A. Enter. Okay, now press F9 again. And again. And again. Okay, now hit enter. Okay, now, can you go to your, yeah, that screen, run SQL script screen? Scroll up for me, please. Okay, hold on a second. Gust O 00003. Okay, now go to your green screen. No. Go back. Okay, just, yeah, click there. Yeah. Okay, it is Cust O. You need one more 0. So press and hold your insert key on the keyboard. Sorry, yeah, now press 0 and now turn off your insert. Like, yeah, and then hit enter. Awesome. Now go back to your run SQL script. Select lines 78 through the last line there. Yes, and now run. Okay, cool, awesome, works.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, everybody else got it too? Okay. Now let's take a break here, guys. Let's take a break here till 7:45. In the meanwhile, I will restart my router. So I will be disconnected and I'll connect back then once the router gets connected, okay? Hopefully, because hopefully this unstable internet connection problem will be resolved. So I'll see you guys at 7:45.